Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals. So you want stuff, you need stuff, but you can't afford it because it all costs platinum, and you're a free-to-play player of Warframe or waiting for that mythological 75% discount to show up. Well, worry not, because your trusty Zenosfire is here to give you some help and some advice on how to earn yourself enough platinum to fully enjoy the game. If at the end of the video you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below or swing by on my Twitch chat at twitch.tv/Zenosfire, and I'd be happy to answer almost any question that you may have. And if you liked the video, a like and subscription is always appreciated. Right, shameless plug done, let's get into it. I'm gonna go over a few different ways for you to earn platinum at various stages in the game, for the newer player, the Steel Path entrant, and the endgame player. These, of course, won't be the only ways for you to earn platinum, but there are some really good and relatively chill ways to get yourself the stuff that you want. As a disclaimer, this whole guide does assume that you know how to and have trading unlocked. If you're not sure about that, there's a ton of articles, forum posts, and videos out there showing you how to get started with this. Also, I highly recommend that you familiarize yourself with the fan-run and made site, Warframe.market, as it's typically the best place to buy, sell, and trade items in the game. Alright, for our newer players, first we have corrupted mods. These are farmable at any level once you have the planet Deimos unlocked, and have joined a clan. Here's what you need. The 4 different Dragon Key blueprints from your dojo's Orokin lab, a frame that moves quickly or is fairly survivable, and of course Deimos unlocked. If you're solo, make sure to equip all 4 of these Dragon Keys onto your gear wheel, which can be done here in the arsenal, before you set out for the mission. Each key will give you some kind of negative debuff, minusing health, shields, movement speed, or damage. If you're running in a party, you can absolutely spread the keys out amongst your group if you'd like, but make sure that you have at least one of each key spread throughout the group. Next, load into this mission here, the Deimos capture at Horrend. Do the mission as normal, but before heading to extraction, look for this door here. There's almost always one that's accessible in each map, and it needs one of the 4 Dragon Keys to open it, hence why we need to bring all 4, as we don't know which one of the 4 we'll need at the start of the mission. Once we find the door, go in, collect this weird glowing orb thing, and head to extraction. Rinse and repeat, and that's your farming loop done. Now this can be a bit of a gamble, as it could be something really useful like Blind Rage, but it could be also one of the least desirable mods like Tainted Clip. Some tips to make this farm go faster are using Titania, as her movement speed isn't as negatively impacted as the other frames when she goes into furry mode. Another is to run into a group with one person holding all of the keys. The other 3 run around the map to find the vault door, and then just call over the key holder once it's found. This way, you're spending less time slogging around the map, and it really does increase the efficiency of the runs. Now, this certainly isn't the most profitable way to earn platinum, but these are mods that you're going to need anyway, and then any extras you get while farming will earn you some platinum at the same time. The other tried and true method to earn platinum is the good old standby of relic farming. If you've been playing the game for anything longer than an hour, you should have one of these weird looking rocks. They're called relics, and they contain blueprints and parts for primed weapons and warframes and various other valuable items. During the mission, all you need to do is collect 10 reactant, these little things here on the UI, and bam, you've got the relic unlocked. Then, once you've extracted, or at the end of the round if you're doing an endless mission like survival or defense, you and your squad can all choose between what each person unlocked, and you get to keep it even if it didn't come from your relic. Typically, the gold rarity items will be worth the most platinum, so keep an eye out for those. This farm's also a bit of a crapshoot. It could be very profitable or not depending on your luck. We can tip the scales a bit by increasing the rarity of the relic, giving you a higher chance to get a gold item out of it. Here in the relic menu, you can upgrade the relics by spending reactant, which is a resource earned by opening relics, so it's a nice little gameplay loop there. Typically, capture missions will be the fastest way to do this type of a farm, but do what mission you enjoy the most, and make sure that you don't burn yourself out. No point in earning money in a game that you end up killing for yourself, so take the time and enjoy the process. This is certainly the most profitable anytime that a new Prime Access comes out, which is the release of a new primed Warframe and primed weapons. They're hot commodity items, and they sell pretty well for the first about 3 weeks when it first comes out, so certainly something that you could do if you time it right. Alright, now let's chat about those of us who have done much of the game and are ready to embark upon the Steel Path. There's 2 ways other than the aforementioned that I'd suggest: Arbitrations and Reputation items. Arbitrations are kind of a special mission that's unlocked once you've completed the whole star chart, just like the Steel Path. The major difference is that that it has some of the most important endgame mods in its loot pool and shop, so it's super valuable for yourself and for your wallet too. Some of these mods include Rolling Guard and Adaptation, staples in any endgame Warframe loadout, and the Galvanized Weapon mods, which are again in basically every Warframe weapon build in the game. I typically tell people who are rushing for the Steel Path to take some time in here to gear up, and don't go headfirst into the Steel Path. That's how important this farm is for your own progression. The other farm that I'd recommend for players at this level and above is reputation items. Within the game, there's a ton of different reputations to farm, each with their own shops and items that can be traded to other players. Just for a quick example, the Holdfasts at the Zarman Reputation Hub has some of the most important arcanes for your weapons, warframes, and operators, and the rep is pretty quick and easy to farm. Molt Augmented and Molt Efficiency are both staples in many endgame builds these days, and thus are worth platinum. There's a ton of videos out there by awesome creators on how to most efficiently grind reputation in the game, so I'd suggest checking those out. But the long and short of it is that you get rep for many of these by doing bounties at the respective open worlds, daily syndicate missions, or by representing them, which can be done here in your orbiter. Some of the other items that may be worthwhile to sell are augment mods, syndicate weapons like the Sancti Magistar, or bond mods for companions. Alright, let's chat about us endgame folks. Again, I've got two suggestions for us, Rivens and Void Cascades. Most people who are in the endgame of Warframe know what Rivens are, but for those not in the know, they're a special weapon mod that have randomly rolled stats and can make certain weapons really over the top good. But you need to invest a whole lot of time and energy into getting these rolls, as we have to spend Kuva, which is a special resource you can get throughout the game, to randomize the stats on the mods. Now, this is a complete gamble farm. You could get a Riven worth thousands of platinum, or you could end up with complete garbage worthlessness. Many people will just passively do this kind of platinum farm, as Kuva can be earned in many different ways. So while this can be majorly profitable, it's nothing close to a guaranteed way to earn platinum. Now, if you're looking for info on how to best farm Kuva, don't worry, I've already got a video in the works for that, so make sure you're subscribed. Void Cascade missions on the Zarman, on the other hand, is arguably the most efficient way to farm platinum in the game at the time that I'm recording. Firstly, they're in the Omni Fisher rotation, which is a special Void Fisher mission where you can take whatever relic you feel like into it, which, as we talked about before, is a great way to earn platinum. Next, these dudes, the Thrax, have a chance to drop the Holdfast Arcanes, which we've already spoken about. Pro tip with this, the game code sees Arcanes as mods, so a mod drop chance booster will affect the drop rate of these Arcanes from these guys. More drops, of course, means more money. And if you catch a Steel Path Omnifisher, you're also then farming Steel Essences, which can be traded in for Kuva, which then can be used as a fuel for potential profit stream of Riven rolls. The Acolytes also drop their specific arcanes in these missions. If you're on the Steel Path already, you probably got a ton of extras of these lying around. Trade these into Lloyd on the new Demos hub, the Sanctum Tennocon, for packs of arcanes from much more difficult and time-sensitive farms, such as Eidolon hunts, which have super valuable arcanes like Energize and Aegis. So as you can see, if you time this correctly with an Omnifisher, you can farm potentially hundreds of platinum an hour. That said, it's also probably the most difficult farm in the game that we've discussed, as Void Cascade missions can also be some of the most hectic in the game, and I would highly recommend to bring a full party and don't leave it to chance with random pickup members that the game will matchmake with you for the best results. Now, there is one special bonus limited time way to earn platinum that's actually coming up during Tennocon, which is the Baro Tennocon Relay. At this special relay, available during and around Tennocon, everyone's favorite vendor shows up and will have every item he has ever brought in his inventory. He only wants credits and ducats, which is a currency you can trade unwanted prime parts for at these terminals in the central room of each relay. Many of the items that Baro has are hot commodities, like a variety of primed mods, prisma, weapons, and rare relics. I'll be making a video all about which of these items to look for at the time around Tennocon, so make sure you're subscribed to find out what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, the best way to earn platinum boils down to this: exploit human nature of laziness. All of these farms, and any farm in any MMO for that matter, is all about finding what's good and potentially annoying for a parent who just got off shift and just wants to have fun right now and is totally chill about throwing money at the problem to enjoy their limited game time. That's what all of these farms are, you exchanging time to other players for their platinum. You eagle-eyed people out there will realize that yes, it's just like a job, but you don't have to make it a job, or the only thing that you pay attention to in this game. You just need to figure out a way that's the best use of your time, your patience, and most importantly, the most enjoyable way for you. And with that, you should now have enough info on how to farm enough platinum so that you don't really ever need to worry about slots or cosmetics again. These of course aren't the only way to farm platinum, but it will give you some good starting points to springboard off of. If you enjoyed the video or found something interesting, a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, drop them down below or swing by my Twitch chat and I'll be happy to give you a hand. And until next time, have a good one, and best of luck with your farm.